Hi, do you suffer with redness of the skin, sensitive skin? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my skincare routine, morning to evening. We're going to be going through a few of my products and some of little hints and tips to really help the microbiome on the skin. Then finishing off a little bit of a lymphatic drainage massage at the end so you can get a nice skin glow. Now, hi, I'm Ali. I've been a facialist for the last 8 years and I really am passionate to help you on your skincare journey. So first things first, when I wake up in the morning, you want to wash your face. Now, I use a very fine, light, gentle cleanser here, and it's a lovely milk cleanser, I can see because of the lights here. And I only use just a couple of drops onto the skin, a couple of pumps, and I'll place it onto literally the pads of my fingers and very gently work it through with some tepid water, round circular motions all around the facial area, and then in an upwards motion with the neck. I then like to finish off with just rinsing it off in some tepid water. Now, I use tepid water. I don't like to use hot water because I find then it's just too much for the skin. So just nice warm tepid water, and then finishing off with a cold rinse as well, because then you're closing the pores. Now, when it comes to washing the skin, I like to use an exfoliant, but I don't like to use chemical exfoliants, and I don't really like using the scrubs. Lots of people use them and it's fine, but for me, I tend to find that they kind of scratch at my skin. But I do use a Foreo, which I have one here, and I have done many videos on this in previous videos, and what I like about it, it's silicone and it's lovely and soft, and it's one piece of silicone, so it's really easy to wash. So you can wash all in between here, so you're not actually going from bad bacteria onto your skin, so it's nice and clean. And it's nice and gentle, so I would use this 3 or 4 times a week, just very light, round circular motions, not too deep or heavy. So once we've done that, you also very quickly, you don't want to use flannels. I don't like using a flannel. I find they're too harsh on the skin as well. So once we've done that, we've washed, we've actually, if we're 3 or 4 times a week, we've used our Foreo, and then you want to towel dry the skin. Now, I don't rub up and down. If you rub, you're actually going to really aggravate the skin. Just taking the towel in the fingers and the hands and just gently patting dry all along the skin. So that's first thing in the morning, and then I like to use a vitamin C serum. Now, obviously, if you do have inflammation, you may want to use a different type of serum. I do have my serum here, which is a vitamin C. I don't know if you can see because of the light here. What vitamin C does, it helps boost collagen, and it also helps with pigmentation. But if that's too astringent, there is actually, I have a peptide anti-aging, let's see because of the light, which is it's more gentle if you like. And again, it will really help with any pigmentation on the skin. So I like to place just 1 or 2 drops, again, onto the pads of the fingers and just gently tap it in all the way along the facial area and the neck area. And by gently tapping, you're actually helping with blood flow and circulation, waking up the skin, if you like, into the facial and the neck area. After that, I like to use a hyaluronic acid. Now, this one is from my men's brand, again, because of the light here. I don't know if you can barely see here. Now, hyaluronic acid is fantastic, particularly if you have if your skin is slightly dry, and it's also really great because it helps with. Now, hyaluronic acid here is absolutely amazing, particularly for fine lines and wrinkles. So when you put hyaluronic acid on, it can hold up to about 1,000 times the amount of its own weight in water. So it really does plump up the skin. The only time I don't use it is if it's in the summer on a very hot day, because obviously it's drawing water from the atmosphere onto your skin to really plump up. But if it's very dry and you haven't got any of that dampness or humidity, it's not going to draw water from the outside, it's going to draw it from the skin. So I like to just use it most of the year actually in England, but not on very hot days, and that will really help as well. And then I like to finish off with a day cream. I use my day cream here. Again, it's nice and light, great for sensitive skin. And again, I would just very gently pat that in after just applying just 1 or 2 little drops here, like pea-sized drops, and just pat it all on. And then obviously finishing off with an SP50. If you can, 30 onwards is great, just to protect the skin, particularly in the summertime, or even in the winter time, to be honest, even through the clouds. So I like to just do that at the end. Now, when it comes to diet, that's obviously that's actually really does make a difference also to the skin. So if you have plenty of salt in your diet, you have lots of sugar, alcohol, trans fats, all of that sort of thing, it's not going to do your skin any good. It's going to add to the inflammation and the redness. So if you can, if you possibly can, try to eat as clean as you can. Maybe the 80-20 rule, but plenty of water as well, because that really does help with the skin as well and really puffs everything out. And then I like to do my evening routine, which is actually very simple. So again, I would wash my face with my gentle cleansing milk here, and just very lightly with the pads of the fingers here, just really lovely light massage on the facial and the neck area, and then gently tap it with a towel just so it's nice and dry. And then I like to finish off with a night cream, and I should have a night cream here somewhere. Where are we? Pigment, here we go. And here we go. This is a collagen night cream. So this actually helps build collagen as well within the skin during the night time. So I'm all ready and happy for a double bubble, if you like. So I just apply, again, a couple of pea-sized drops onto the fingers and just finish off with this. Now, the one product which I absolutely love, and that is my Nourishing Facial Oil. Now, I use that, and I've got it here, and I use this when I'm doing my facial massage and facial yoga. And I thought I'd just demonstrate a little bit for you now. So again, it's very light, it's got very light scent. It contains 12 organic ingredients, argan oil, jojoba oil. I mean, it's amazing. So just a couple of drops onto the fingers. I like to warm it through and then just gently place all along the facial area. Not forgetting the neck. And then where the collarbone is, just lift up all the way along with the flat of the hand from the collarbone towards the neck area and the ears. And then I like to work my way all the way along. And what a facial oil does, it really helps with a great slip and glide when you're doing a facial massage. Again, particularly if you have older sagging skin, you don't want to be dragging or pulling. And I am in my mid-50s, so obviously losing collagen and elastin. So trying to produce that by helping with lots of products, but also by not, scratching the skin, and also not by dragging or pulling using my products. And then I'm just placing my thumb under my chin, fingers as a hook, and just gently gliding now all along the jawline. And we have plenty of lymph nodes under the jawline, so really moving toxins and waste within the lymph. Heading towards the ears, and then lifting up from the jawline in an upwards and out motion, lower part of the face. Now we're moving toxins and waste within the lymph, which is very close to the surface of the skin, so only a feather-light touch is needed. Again, we tend to forget about these mouth wrinkles, so just under the nose, cheekbones. Now when it comes to the eye area, the skin around the eyes is very fine and delicate. So I'm just placing my ring finger between the eyes, just gently gliding where the bone is towards the temple area. And then lifting up from between the eyebrows and working my way along the forehead. Upwards motion. And then interconnecting my fingers and just gently gliding now from the forehead down towards the temples. And if you can just at this point do a few round circular motions one way and then the other. And you can also take a few belly breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Also helps with oxygen and blood flow to the neck and the head, as well as calming down the nervous system. as we tend to hold quite a lot of tension in the face. So if you can calm everything else down, it really does show up on the face. And then we're just gliding front of the ears where we have plenty of lymph nodes, and then behind the ears. Again, plenty of lymph nodes in these places. And then taking the fingers and just gently massage all along the bottom of the head, top of the neck, the occipital bone. And then when the fingers are touching, one hand at a time, if you can glide down that big SCM muscle down by the side of the neck. And then from the chin all the way down where our collarbone is, we've got these indentations. And if you can just give those a few gentle presses, this will release all the toxins and waste we've moved within the facial area using the facial oil into the body, ready for elimination. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please comment down below. Tell me your daily skincare routine and how you found mine. And also, please subscribe, like and share. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye.